and of course, and we're a nonprofit organization. But going back to your question on like with the families and children.
Yeah.
When you have a dog that's learned your basic obedience, now you have a dog that will sit, lay down, pay attention to you, sit at your side. You can teach your dog to not try to knock the door down when somebody's knocking on the other side.
True.
And it's something that the children can get involved with because they can help with the homework. They can give the same commands. Dogs learn by rote. So, I mean, everybody can be involved with this program.
Absolutely.
A lot of kids, a lot of children that come with their parents will come. Wives, husbands.
Yeah.
Oftentimes will say, well, who listens to your dog? I mean, who's the dog listens to who the most.
Yeah.
And if the wife says, well, it's the husband, or the husband says it's the wife, we like to see the opposite one doing the classes.
Right.
But the dogs really want to please us. I mean, that's why they've always been domesticated. So the trick is to find out what pleases them, and when we're pleased, they're pleased.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a whole family thing.
Oh, absolutely.
To have the dogs.
That's so great to hear. And on that note, we'll be right back after this. Welcome back. We're here with Pauline Allen and Richard McIntosh, who are instructors for the Tri-State Dog Obedience Club. And we were talking a little bit about the health benefits having a dog has. So now tell me about the activities you can do with your dog if you're active or not so active. And does the breed of dog matter?
Well, the breed of dog definitely would make a difference. We highly recommend that you research before getting a dog, whether it be on the web or with akc.org. You go in and they have a little survey you can do, and it'll kind of narrow down what breeds of dogs fit your lifestyle.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this way, you're not going out there and getting, like, let's say, a border collie or a great big huge dog, and you have an apartment.
Right.
Or border collies are very, very active, and they need your interaction with them. They can't be a dog that you're going to leave home for 8 hours a day.
Right.
They'll tear the place up.
That's good to know. That is good to know. So now, what type of activities can you do with the dog?
Well, all the activities that we mentioned before, as far as obedience, and all dogs should have some form of obedience training. When you get a puppy, we have puppy kindergarten.
Oh, what's that?
Which it socializes them from the beginning. A lot of times, breeders don't take the time to get the dogs out and socialize them. They only have some of the bigger breeds. You can sell at 8 weeks of age, and the little breeds we recommend 12 weeks. They need a little bit more time to understand what mom is teaching them too.
Right.
And so you want to socialize them, and the first thing is puppy obedience, puppy kindergarten, so they get to meet different breeds, and they get to understand that how to respond to another dog or to people and things of that nature. They learn the sit, they learn the down. They're not so long a stay because they're just like toddlers.
They're puppies, yeah.
They have a very short attention span.
And how long is that class? Is it something where you would go weekly for a set amount of weeks, or is it something?
Yeah, our classes at the school are they're set in 6-week intervals.
Okay.
And at our school, what we do is we do every 2 months. So it's January, then March, then May. So and on the website it has all that information. It's TriStateDogObedience.org.
Oh, great.
I'm sorry, TriStateDogObedienceClub.org.
The classes go for an hour.
Okay.
And then you put in what you get.
Right.
So we, and the other thing is,
the more active you are with it, the better it'll benefit you.
Yes, we're not really teaching the dog. We're teaching
you.
Yeah, how to work with your particular dog. That's what we do, and that's where the homework comes in. But if you can't make classes, there are a lot of things. Dogs need jobs. They need things to do. They need more than just feed them. They need that interaction with the family. Tugging, throwing a ball, anything you can get the dog to do. High five, teach them to roll over, do a lot of different things that you can do with your job. The more that they are using their head, the happier they are. It gives them something to do. Of course, it gives you something to do too.
Right.
And it's always a challenge with our dogs. And the more you give them, the more they want.
Yeah.
And you get back from it. And that's what I guess that's my trend from the whole thing is to say that our dogs, it's just so wonderful to have that symbiotic relationship that you have with an animal. They can't talk. Oh, I don't believe that for a second. You watch your dog, you watch their ears, you watch their tail, their eyes, everything about them, their whole body language.
Right. Their emotions.
Absolutely. And it's very therapeutic for me and my family, and that's probably why we're so involved with dogs.
And what type of dogs do you have?
We have a flight-coated retriever, and we have 4 Cavalier King Charles Spaniels.
Wow, so you have quite the busy household with all those.
Yes, and the nice thing is like Pauline with her Yorkies and my Cavaliers, they can go a lot longer as far as activity. They'd be just as happy sitting on a couch or in their crate all day long, or laying on the floor. Where my retriever needs a lot more. If I'm gone for a while, I have to go spend more time with him to get that pent up energy out of him.
Yeah.
Or he
wants that
something.
one-on-one interaction with you.
Absolutely. So the type breed and the type temperament is very important when people are thinking about dogs.
What's that website again to look up the questionnaire?
I'm sorry, doctor. akc.org.
And you recommend people to do that just to see, okay, what dog would suit us?
Yes.
Because I have a 4-year-old who would absolutely love a dog. And one of my biggest fears is that my hubby and I aren't really home all the time. So would that be a good website to utilize to see which dogs are the best for just being in a situation where if the family's not at home?
Well, it'll give you an insight as to the activity level of the dog, and that alone can tell you whether it's a dog that you would want to leave in your home for that many hours.
Very true. Before I come home to a destroyed living room.
And for those dogs that not necessarily will someone care or wish to go get a purebred dog, we have our All-American dogs. We call All-American dogs our mixed breed dogs.
Yeah.
If you have an idea of what is in that dog, you could still research the breeds.
Yeah.
To find and try to figure out, okay, this is what's in, this is what we have in this dog, so that you'll know what the traits are. So you don't have to go get a purebred dog just because you go on the AKC website.
Right.
You could still make a choice with a little more knowledge is always a good thing.
Now, do you guys bring your dogs to the classes, or they're not?
my one dog is actually, she's with me today. She goes everywhere with me. She's like almost attached at the hip. And she brings smiles to everybody. So that's one of my biggest purposes is, if I could put a smile on one person a day, that's a big deal.
Yeah. And do your dogs go with you?
Yes, they do. And we train. Every one of our dogs are in one class or another. We do compete. My wife and I both do that. My dog, my big guy, the flight coat, he just got his Nosework 2 title, which I'm really proud about.
That's
but
great.
You know what? It's work, you know. But the dogs, I'll tell you what, you put the leash on your dog or the collar on your dog, depending on whatever the competition is or whatever you're going to do with your dog, they just brighten right up. They're going off somewhere with mom or dad.
Aww.
It really is a wonderful thing.
That's great. Now, for our listeners, how would they get in touch with you guys to say set up classes or to take a class? How would that work?
Well, they can go on our website, the TriStateDogObedienceClub.org. We have a training director, Linda Usen, and the phone number that they can call is 570-296-5594. And they can register for classes, or they can talk with Linda. She'll call them back if the answering machine picks up. And she'll let them know what's available. And on the website, we have the forms. It tells you about the classes. There's also information about all the instructors. You can go in and read about them.
Oh, great.
And I highly encourage people to come and sit in and watch classes without their dog. I try to tell people who are buying my puppies, they ask me, and I recommend the puppy kindergarten, go sit in on a class, go watch the instructor. Some are very, very good and some are not with little dogs. And so you have to, you just have to go out there and get involved and watch and, find out where your obedience clubs or breed clubs are around your area.
Very true, very true. Well, thank you both so much for being on the show today. What a great show it was.
Oh, we enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
I did. Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah, and thanks for sharing. And on that note, we'll be right back after this. Welcome back. And now it's time for our email question of the week.